Imagine you're standing outside on a freezing night. It's silent, the stars are shining, and suddenly, the sky starts dancing. Green ribbons twist overhead, purple waves ripple across the horizon. It looks like someone spilled neon paint across the universe. No, you're not dreaming. No, aliens haven't arrived. And no, your camera isn't using an Instagram filter. You're watching one of the most incredible natural phenomena on Earth, the Northern Lights. But here's the crazy part. The Northern Lights are actually the result of our planet being constantly bombarded by particles fired from the sun at speeds of up to millions of miles per hour. So in a way, the most beautiful light show on Earth is caused by a giant cosmic attack. Let's find out how that works. The Northern Lights, also known as the Aurora Borealis, are colorful displays of light that appear in the night sky near the Arctic. The name Aurora comes from the Roman goddess of dawn, while Borealis means northern. Together, it basically means northern dawn, which sounds a lot more elegant than glowing space particles smacking into atmospheric gases. But that's essentially what's happening. The lights can appear as curtains, arcs, spirals, rays, or waves. Sometimes they move slowly and gracefully. Other times they dance so dramatically it looks like the sky is trying to win a talent show. And the colors? Those aren't random. They're clues to what's happening high above our heads. But before we get to the colors, we need to talk about the sun. Because this story starts 93 million miles away. The sun looks calm from Earth. It's warm, it's bright, it grows your plants, it powers solar panels, very wholesome, but in reality, the sun is an enormous nuclear fusion reactor constantly exploding and throwing particles into space. Every second, the sun releases a stream of charged particles called the solar wind. Think of it as the sun sneezing continuously in every direction. Luckily for us, Earth has a defense system. And no, it's not a secret military project. It's our magnetic field. Deep inside Earth, molten iron moves around our planet's core. This movement generates a magnetic field, and that magnetic field stretches far into space. In simple terms, Earth has a giant invisible force field, which is honestly one of the coolest facts nobody talks about enough. Without it, life on Earth would have a serious problem. The magnetic field protects us from much of the solar wind. Most of those charged particles get deflected around the planet, but some manage to sneak through near the poles. And that's where things get interesting. Near the North Pole and South Pole, Earth's magnetic field funnels charged particles into the upper atmosphere. These particles collide with atoms and molecules high above Earth. When those atoms get hit, they become excited. And when they calm down again, they release energy in the form of light. It's surprisingly similar to how neon signs work, except instead of a sign saying, "Open 24 hours, nature creates a giant glowing masterpiece stretching across the sky. The collisions happen between about 60 and 600 miles above Earth's surface. So the lights aren't actually in the clouds. They're much, much higher. Basically, they're space weather happening right above our heads. Now for the part everyone wonders about. Why are the lights green? Or purple? Or red? The answer depends on which gases are being hit. Green is the most common color. It's produced when charged particles collide with oxygen about 60 to 150 miles above Earth. Red is also caused by oxygen, but much higher up. Blue and purple are usually created by nitrogen. So every color is actually a signature from a different atmospheric gas. In other words, the sky is basically showing off its chemistry homework. And somehow making it look spectacular. This might sound like a myth, but some people claim they've heard the northern lights. Reports describe faint crackles, pops, or hissing sounds. Scientists debated this for decades. Because the aurora occurs so high above Earth that sound shouldn't be able to travel down to listeners. However, some research suggests certain atmospheric conditions may create sounds closer to the ground at the same time the aurora is visible. The mystery isn't completely solved, which means the northern lights are one of those rare phenomena that's beautiful and still a little mysterious. The universe likes to keep some secrets. If seeing the northern lights is on your bucket list, you're not alone. Millions of people travel every year hoping to witness them. Some of the best places include Norway, Iceland, Finland, Sweden, Canada, Alaska, and parts of Greenland. Basically, the closer you are to the Arctic Circle, the better your chances. You also need dark skies, clear weather, and a little luck. Because the aurora doesn't operate on a convenient schedule. Nature never sends a text saying, "Hey, I'll be glowing at 9:17 tonight." Sometimes the sun becomes especially active. Huge eruptions called coronal mass ejections blast enormous amounts of charged particles into space. When these hit Earth, they can create geomagnetic storms. And that's when the northern lights can become truly spectacular. During powerful solar storms, auroras can sometimes be seen much farther south than usual. People in places that almost never see them suddenly look up and find the sky glowing. Imagine stepping outside expecting a normal evening and getting a front row seat to one of nature's greatest shows. That's a pretty good surprise. Here's something many people don't realize. The northern lights have a twin. The southern lights, officially called the Aurora Australis. They occur near Antarctica and are caused by exactly the same process. The reason fewer people talk about them is simple. Far fewer people live near Antarctica. Penguins aren't great at posting travel photos, so the northern lights tend to get most of the attention. Long before scientists understood auroras, people created stories to explain them. Different cultures had different interpretations. Some believed they were spirits. Others thought they were messages from the gods. Some saw them as celestial warriors dancing across the sky. And honestly, if you saw giant glowing ribbons moving through the darkness thousands of years ago, you'd probably come up with some pretty creative explanations too. Even today, knowing the science doesn't make them any less magical. In fact, understanding what's happening somehow makes them even more impressive. You're watching particles that began their journey on the sun, traveling through space, being guided by Earth's magnetic field, and colliding with our atmosphere to create a giant natural light show. That's not less amazing than magic. That's arguably better, because it's real. Conclusion: the northern lights remind us that Earth isn't isolated from the universe. We're connected to it. Every glowing wave in the sky is evidence of an ongoing interaction between our planet and our star. A cosmic conversation happening above our heads every single day. Most of the time, we just can't see it. So the next time you spot a photo of the northern lights, remember, you're not looking at colored clouds. You're looking at solar particles, magnetic fields, atmospheric chemistry, and space weather all working together to create one of the most breathtaking sights on Earth. And somehow, the result looks like the sky installed RGB lighting. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe and let us know in the comments. If you could instantly teleport anywhere to see the northern lights tonight, where would you go? Thanks for watching.